Ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry for the errors. Cass, can you hear me? Okay, sorry for the malfunction. As you guys can see, Shaun Hoko is not joining us today. So the band of Eagles fans are trying to do our best to get this podcast up and running. But we are here. Sorry, I apologize for the malfunction. I couldn't tell you what was going on because Kaz and I were talking before the show just fine. And then as soon as I hit live, everything went to shit. But we are good. We are back up. Kaz, I'm going to swing it to you first, man. How are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday night?
I'm doing okay. We just talked about it last night. Lost a couple bets. The Bengals sold, and then this morning I woke up and I had to pay $1,300 to fund the bachelor party that I'm going to be going to in the spring in Mexico. So,
what part?
Honestly, I don't even know. I'm just along for the ride. Some part I ain't never been to Mexico.
Oh,
all
really?
I know is it. Yeah, all I know is this is from yesterday to today, I have just been blowing money. So here I am. Here I am.
I mean, we're happy to have you. Are you the best man by chance?
No. I'm just just a groomsman.
Okay, this is the first wedding you ever been in?
No. People love to put me in weddings.
Hey, man, that's a great feature to have, man. I have a lot of homeboys, and none of them just want us to tie the knot. You know, we all got girlfriends, and no one wants to tie the knot. So,
man, yeah, okay. I feel you on that, but damn, as cool as it is being a groomsman all the damn time, my wallet hates me. It's like, oh, you got to fly here, you got to go there, you got to da. I got a wedding in March that's in South Carolina that I'm in, then the bachelor party in Mexico at the end of April, and then that wedding is in May. I'm in 2 weddings this spring.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're trying to kill me, dog.
Hey, man, well, like we're saying, man, it's a good thing to be wanted in someone's wedding, man. It's a good time. I've only been in one wedding, so it was I was the best man at one of my best friend's weddings, and that shit, man, he had me working. I'm talking about nonstop. Kevin do this, Kevin do that. And I was like, so when I got married, I told my best man, I was like, look, man, just show up. Don't lose the rings. We're going to have a good time.
That's so, what I'm saying, bro.
If you're watching this, I'll let you off the hook easy, man, because I got put through the ringer. It's a very stressful weekend as it is, being a part of a wedding. But,
yeah.
We love.
Now, and I'll say this, too, before we get started, is like, if I get married someday, I'm letting whoever I might even do it just me and her get eloped somewhere and we can come back and we can party because this shit is crazy. You ask individuals, yeah, you want to spend 2 bands real quick so we can celebrate me and my girl, tying the knot. Do I want to spend 2 bands doing that? No, I don't want to do that. I absolutely do not. Will I? Yes, I will. And it is what it is, man. But you know what? I come from humble beginnings, so maybe that's just the way that I am. I'll make my shit short, sweet, to the point. Now, everybody else, go ahead and do your whole little thing. Have a big extravagant wedding. That's cool. Not for Kaz, though. Not for Kaz. Something small, something slight, something cheap.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So let's dive in. This will be an NFL episode. This is Stats Over Politics 160. It's crazy to think that we are already on episode 160. So for those of you that didn't tune into the first take of this is take 2. So we're back. We're rolling. Shaun Hoko and the pod father, Jaevon will not be here today, but they will be back with us next week. So Kaz and Kevin are going to hold it down. And as you can see for the people that are tuned in right now, you see a lot of Eagles on the podcast, a lot of Eagles in the background. So we are going to talk all things week 4. We have a this or that at the end for the first one of the season, and then we will get into the NFL week 4 recap. But Kaz, I'm going to throw it to you first for the first game that we are going to cover. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Baltimore Ravens yet again, 37-20. What are your thoughts?
I feel bad for Ravens fans, but we knew going into this game that one of those teams is going to be 1-3. So if roles were reversed, I'd probably feel kind of bad for Chiefs fans. It's just like when you have a good team, but like say for instance the Chiefs, like you're starting the season off without your primary wide receiver. I think they had some other injuries too that's been relevant. Travis Kelce. Yeah, Travis Kelce, he's just ready to be a celebrity. He's that dude's checked out for the most part. Not saying like he doesn't want to play football, but it's like when you think of Travis Kelce now, you just think of Taylor Swift. You don't really think of him as a football player anymore. So there's that. And he's actually old, So the Chiefs, they've had to face some adversity early on, obviously. And then the Ravens, they were supposed to go in there and handle business, and they all get hurt. They lost a lot of guys that game. So, I think they had like 4 significant injuries, if not mistaken, one of them being Lamar. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do? And you're on the road. And, the Ravens just have had – I don't really know how to explain what I've seen so far this season. It's like it kind of reminded me of a couple years back when we started off 9-1, and then we lost like those 6 games straight or whatever it was, 5-6 games, right? It was like, damn, like what are we doing? But that's just football for you, man. So I think the Ravens. I know the Ravens are the better team, but they gotta. I know they have a hard schedule. They gotta find a way to win these games. It's just that simple. You can't. You're too talented. You're too deep on offense and defense to not go out there and give your opponents, make them work for it. And they have, but like also you got to just close out these games, man. Like you got to finish. And I don't really know who to blame, honestly. I think it's just you can blame Harbaugh. I think a lot of Ravens fans are kind of sick of him, but I don't blame Derrick Henry. 3 fumbles in 4 weeks. We understand that those fumbles are critical, but it's like, is that it? Like you can't put a team away. You can't just, you can't be up by, 2 touchdowns, 10 points. And even if that fumble happens and say the opposing team does score, you can't bounce back and put together a good drive and, put 3 or 7 back on the board. I don't know, man. They're having issues closing games. And I don't think it's going to be long-term. I think that they still will probably win that division. I know that Pittsburgh's there, but I think that it's week 4. They're 1-3. I think 11 wins can win that division. I do. I don't think that Pittsburgh's going to go on this tirade right now where they're going to just win, 6-7 straight. But I think when it's all said and done, the Ravens will be at the top of the NFC North and AFC North. And if they're not, they're going to be in the playoffs. So get all the bad shit out of the way now. It does suck for Ravens fans. It's probably going to be a long 4 to 5 weeks before they kind of get their mojo back, get their confidence back. But as football, you guys got to deal with it. So
you're looking at this a lot more positive than I am because, when the Ravens lose, whose fault is it? Lamar Jackson, fumble, interception, giving up sacks. It's one thing to sit here and say, oh, Kevin, this dude's hurt, this dude's hurt, this dude's hurt. You guys are already down 17 when all the dudes got hurt. So let's not pretend that you guys came in this game, snapped one, the tower just crumbles, everyone's hurt. That's not the case at all. When you guys come in and turn the ball over and you can't get stops, it's hard because we look at this Ravens defense and say that's where they spend the money. All-pro Roquan Smith, all-pro Kyle Hamilton. Nate Wiggins is coming into his own. They drafted the guy from Georgia, Malachi Starr. They draft Mike Green. They're doing everything on defense. The one thing the Ravens are known for, Kaz, you will admit that it's the defense. That is what they come in here. That is what they're known for. Back from the Ray Lewis days to the Ryan Reed, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs. Like that's what they're known for. Even Dion was there. Like when you are a Baltimore Raven, defense is what gets you going. And when your defense isn't going, it's hard because this offense is subpar. Is Derrick Henry washed? Rashad Bateman shows up every other third game, maybe. Zay Flowers shows up here and there. But it comes down to Lamar Jackson. You can't sit here and say Lamar Jackson is this, Lamar Jackson is that. Kaz, you're going to love this. Everybody's better than Patrick Mahomes, so they play him. He is 1-6 against Patrick Mahomes, 1-5 in the regular season, and 0-1 in the playoffs. So
yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Everyone's better than Patrick Mahomes too. You got to play him. Everyone says, Kaz, he was here when we won the Super Bowl. The day after, I'm screaming from the rooftop that Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson because what people say the regular season gap is between Lamar and Jalen, the playoffs is the same gap, but in Jalen's favor. Every game they lose, it's a multiple turnover affair by Lamar Jackson. You want to be the guy, you have to be able to beat the guy, and he can't beat the guy. And Spags has never lost to Lamar Jackson. So to have a guy like Spags as the play caller, calling all blitzes and just getting them on their toes, they don't have anything to do. And people can say Lamar was hurt. People will say Lamar was pouting. For him to come off down 17 and not go back in, I couldn't tell you a franchise quarterback in Philly that would do that, injury or not. We gonna finish it out. Some people think, I don't know what you think, Kaz, but some people think Jalen Hurts was kind of concussed in the second half. He went into the tent, came back out.
I think he was, man. He saw like his body kind of move weird out.
Everything was just off. It looked off. Being an Eagles fan, watching all these games, like seeing Jalen Hurts do that, it gave me a lot of reminiscences of the last year in Washington. We played the Commanders. You know, he put the thumbs up and the ref said thumbs down. Kenny Pickett, Kenny Pickett, 2 gloves, come on in. It's your show. But before we move on, Kaz, we have some Broncos love. I would have never thought in my life Gray Wolf was a Broncos fan.
Yeah, he is.
Gray Wolf, he's always in the comment section, so I got to show love. He said, go Broncos. I'll see you Eagles fans this upcoming week. It's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. You guys scared me a little bit last night, but you turned it up on the Bengals, and we're able to pull it out. We have Imani Bentley, go Birds. That's what I like.
Birds, baby.
We got a projection. 56.
Damn. God.
56.
Woo!
Brown got 185. Smitty went for 2.
17 Eagles.
That means the Eagles of old are showing up. And Imani, I'm fucking here for it. I don't know if you guys follow Kaz on Instagram, but he had a lot to say about Jalen Hurts. Or not Jalen Hurts, but about the whole A.J. Brown situation. So it's 56 points. You won't hear a complaint out of me. Me and Kaz talking about, we just want everybody to be happy on the same page. 56 points?
We dropped 56, bro. Yeah. You know, matter of fact, I'm taking that. Whatever that spread is, I'm taking that. I'm putting $2 on it just because.
Yes, and then we have Toddy in the comment sections. Where is the game? The game is in Philly?
I don't know. Yeah, it's in Philly.
Yeah, it's in Philly.
Yeah.
Graham Wolf said, nah, it's not going to be that bad. Hey, man, we dropped 56. I'm coming in here on Monday and acting a goddamn fool. I'm calling out everybody that called out my man KP. Oh, bro, we scored 56? And A.J. Brown don't got over 150? Either which way. Either A.J. Brown shut the hell up or KP, thank you. Either which way. 56 points. We back. Toddy said the Broncos are bringing that belt. As you guys know, the Niners lost. And, Kaz, where are our Niner podcasters? You know, they're just
I feel like they're
in the comments.
I'm not sure what they told you, you know, the reason why they couldn't show up. But, I mean, I think we know. I think we know, and it's cool, man. You know, you know what? Sometimes Niners fans start doing Cowboy fan shit where, you know, when the lights is the brightest and they don't perform, they go hide underneath the refrigerator. They had to go hide. Yep, they go hide underneath the refrigerator, bro. In every little crevice and crack of the apartment, they hiding away, just looking through the blinds like this. That's what they do. They don't say nothing. You call them out, you know, give them a couple whistles. Nothing. They just sit right here. Don't move. They only come out when it's safe, man. So
nowhere to be found. I mean, they're all good when they're winning, but then they lose to Trevor Lawrence, and now they're in the comments.
And I called that, by the way. I called that.
I saw you the only one. Trust me, when we do week 4 recap, that's already in the intro. Kaz picked the Jags.
Yep.
So next game of the week, we have a NFC West Cowboy or NFC East Cowboys versus the Packers. And Kaz, I don't ever thought I'd say the day, but they tied 40-40. What were your thoughts on this tie?
I was pissed, man. I wanted the Packers to kill them. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted the Packers to go in there and just put it to them. And, you know, I said it once, I'll say it again. Getting George Pickens was a good move by the Cowboys, and we see exactly why. So now Dallas has, for sure, arguably one of the best receiving corps in the NFL, without a doubt. But they have They have two number ones. They're very similar to Philadelphia right now. George Pickens, I think he's the number one wide receiver. He proved it. Just the other day against the Packers. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb is who he is. But yeah, just honestly, I'm not gonna give Dallas that much credit. I'm really not. They were at home. No, I'm not. They were at home, and they're known for having a high-powered offense. They always have. Why would I pick them to not have one with George Pickens there, and even though CeeDee Lamb's out? They've done more with less. So like, okay, Dallas puts up 40 yet again. Dak Prescott puts up 1,000,000 yards. Yet again, he's done that time and time again. I'm looking at the Green Bay defense and I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, I didn't look at that game and go, oh my God, wow, like Dallas is unstoppable. I'm like, bro, like, sack fucking Dak. Like, you're right there. And then they look, most of the time on offense, when you're Green Bay, they were scoring at will, just like Dallas was, obviously, which is why it was 40-40. But I'm like, you do understand, like, you guys have Josh Jacobs. Like, you guys can manage this game and just beat the team that you are better than. Like, you're giving Dallas multiple opportunities. And I'm not saying, like, okay, like, don't go out there and score fast. Like, no, I'm not saying that. But what I mean is, like, at some point, you see your defense they're not figuring their shit out. You got to think, how can we close out this game and win? Okay, defense has already been exposed. They're playing like dog shit today. Okay, there's nothing they can do for whatever reason. Dak's having a day. Pickens is having a day. So be it. If they play that game 5 times, I think that 4 out of those 5 times, Green Bay handles Dallas pretty easily. I mean, pretty easily. This just happened to be that game where, I think that just energy was high in Dallas, man. And they went out there and they fared well against the Packers. I was just very disappointed with the end result. I really thought that Parsons was going to have a much better game. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? These are his former teammates as of recent. They know everything about him.
If anyone's going to shut him down, it's them.
Yes, they know everything about him. Okay, they match up against him all the time in practice and OTAs, all that stuff, right? They know the man. Okay, he knows another man. So they don't need to really scout or anything. It's like, okay, we know what Parsons is going to do. No matter where Green Bay puts him, we're going to have an answer for Parsons. And they did a good job of containing him. But the game was fun. It was very exciting. I'll give them that. But I just felt like Green Bay, they came in. I'm not sure what the game plan was on defense, but I don't think that Dallas was doing anything that Green Bay could not stop. I really don't. I feel like Green Bay didn't make the right adjustments when they had the time to do so, and it turned out to be a shootout, and they just said, fuck it, we're going to just continue doing the same thing over and over again and hope for a different result, and next you know it's 40-40. But shout out Jordan Love, though. I'll give him hella credit. That 40-point performance by that Green Bay Packers offense, way more impressive than Dallas's, only because Green Bay is not known for doing that. Again, if Dallas, since Dak's been in the league, has been known for having a high-powered offense, and we see it, it's not like, oh my God, let's crown Dallas. They have this great offense. They that's what they do. They get weapons. They usually have a solid line. They had Zeke for the prime of his career. Okay, Dak was rookie of the year at one point. So it's like, and when they had Amari Cooper, they were shitting on motherfuckers. When they had Gallup there and mixed up with Cooper, they were shitting on motherfuckers. When they had fucking just CD there, CD was still unstoppable. So it's not like they have not been doing this. As for Green Bay, I can't say the same. Green Bay is not out here just pulverizing teams. Dallas is really good at beating up on shitty teams. They're one of the best. If you're a shitty team, Dallas will take full advantage of it. Jerry loves putting up 50 points on shitty teams. Nice. Oh my God. It's the NFL. I get it. There's no mercy rule, whatever. But I'm like, that's why Dallas looks the way they do to people who don't know football. It's like, watch out for the Cowboys. Watch out for what? Just play solid defense for 3 quarters and you beat Dallas. It's not a hard thing to do because they don't have a complete team. They never have. They never will for many years to come. Right now, their offense is great. Like I said, the addition of you take away Pickens, complete different game. He went off. Did Pickens go off in Pittsburgh the same way? Yes, he has. He's a guy who can get the job done. So now they have a better quarterback in Dak Prescott than they did in old-ass Aaron Rodgers. And before that, whoever the fuck was even there. I mean, Pickens was what? This is only his 3rd year, I think it is.
Yeah.
So, okay, congratulations. I'm sorry, I'm not as much as I actually fucking hate Dallas, this is one of the times I'm really not going to give them credit. I'm not giving them credit. I'm sorry. This is not something we're seeing where we're like, oh shit, we got to watch out for this Dallas Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott. We've seen it before. They've been in how many shootouts? It's what their identity is. They're going to play you. They're going to play well at home usually, even though last year was kind of different. They're going to play well at home. Okay, they're going to have that game where they're going to go up against a formidable opponent and they're going to play them well. But more often than not, they're not winning this game. So the tie happened. Cool. Okay. Shout out to Dallas for hanging in there and getting the tie. But Green Bay should have won that game, 100%.
So let me ask you a question, Kaz. We have now seen the Green Bay Packers come out, beat the Detroit Lions. They beat the Commanders. So to start off 2-0 against teams that went deep into the playoffs, Kaz, I have to ask you a question. Are the Green Bay Packers overrated?
Yes, 100%. Because that defense just got exposed. That defense just got exposed. Now, are they criminally overrated? No. But let's pump the brakes now. We see they lost to the Browns. Okay. Then they bounce, and Browns have a good defense, and they bounce back and they tie with Dallas because of an offensive performance, not a defense. So, like, adding Parsons was supposed to change everything for that defense. And I think it did, but they're not executing. That's the thing. I think that if Parsons is there, I mean, he's a fingernail away from having a lot of sacks right now. Like, he is right there. It's just not these quarterbacks are getting out of the way in the nick of time, and I'm sure they're game planning for that. But they're overrated. And by week 2, they were already favored by a lot of people to go to the NFC Championship game. They were favored over Philadelphia. And I'm like, okay. I've been watching football my whole life. I've seen teams come out and start off 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. Hell, we can even take the Eagles from a few years back. Starting off 9-1. Like, yeah, 10-1 or whatever it was. It's like, and then shit the bed. I ain't worried about this shit right now, bro. Week 6 always has been and always will be my week that really shows who a team actually is. By week 6, your record, how you guys are playing, what your superstars are doing, that is your team's identity. Not week 2, not week 3, not week 1. No. Give me at least to week 6 and we can talk more about it. But yeah, I think that they're overrated. It's not criminally overrated, but they're slightly overrated. You can't, especially in a game like that. That was your chance to prove to us, hey, let's go in here and put Dak on his ass, and and give Jerry Jones the bird. Nope, you didn't. You had a golden opportunity to do so. You lose to the fucking Browns. You have to bounce. You have to bounce back and show not only your fans but the world that, hey, whoa. Good teams lose to bad teams all the time. It's just the way that the league works. Okay, every team that's good has a shitty game every year, and they lose to a team that they have no business losing to. It is what it is. Dallas is not supposed to be that game. I can accept the Cleveland game, but you have to bounce back. They didn't. The Packers right now are a little bit overrated.
I would agree with you because this offense, like you said, them scoring 40 points is an eye raiser. Romeo Doubs 3 touchdowns. You no one had that parlay. No one thought that was even something that's going to be a possibility. Josh Jacobs was getting it going early. Jordan Love was getting it going early. This offense is bits and pieces of what a good offense will look like. They don't have a number 1 wide receiver, so they're able to spread the ball around. We're finally seeing Matthew Golden finally starting to get a lot of action in this offense. Jaden Reed went down, so I see Golden really filling in that role. But Jordan Love is a hell of a quarterback. Tucker Kraft is a hell of a tight end. So they don't have that guy on offense, but they have a lot of pieces around them. But people thought that because they beat the Lions, and we all thought the Lions were going to be trash because they came out there and got smacked. Then they beat the Commanders, a team that was in the NFC Championship. So now you got Packers players saying they're going undefeated, Cass. They thought the whole world was in front of them. They were 2-0, and they ain't pitching themselves for winning for the next 15 weeks. And we've seen this team go up and down. Michael, like Cass said, Micah Parsons is right there. He's becoming he's a hair of getting sacks and making plays. But this defensive line, Rashawn Gary, Van Ness, there's a lot of other guys that have to step up. I get it. You now have Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is not Myles Garrett. He's not. He's one of the top guys, but he's not Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, wherever you put him, he's going to change the game. Cass said it perfectly. This Cowboys team knows him. If any game that he was going to get shut down, it was going to be this game. So to see the Packers be on high, cloud nine, week 2, just goes to show that they're not really ready for this. You had interviewing people saying that they were going to go undefeated. The vibes in the locker room are good, and I'm sure they're going to be good because they play the Bengals and the Cardinals next 2 weeks. So 2 Mondays from now, they're going to come in here with 4-2-1 and 4-1-1, and they're going to be on the high again. But it's like the Packers are a contender in the NFC. Me and Kaz are not going to come out here and say they're not contenders, but they're overhyped. They were told, everyone said they were going to be really, really good after week 2. Cass said it. After week 2, they were the favorite. And there's a lot of football to be played, so you can't let 2 games get to your head. And then you follow up those 2 games playing 2 playoff opponents and lose to the Browns.
Yeah, I think that tie's going to screw them too because I don't foresee Detroit slowing down anytime soon. And it's going to sound crazy, but
don't you say it.
If Chicago can figure out their mojo, man, I got to say it, bro. If Chicago can figure out a way to just put together a few wins, just a few. This is a very hot take, by the way. I don't foresee this happening. Detroit, absolutely. But Chicago might be a game or 2 behind Green Bay, by like week 10, 11. And if that's the case, it's all going to come down to, okay, how you guys going to close out these last 4 or 5 games or whatever. All right, so I wouldn't say that Green Bay is in a comfortable spot with that tie. That was actually the worst thing that could happen to them is that tie. They absolutely needed that win, without a doubt. And I'm not sure who the NFC North plays this year. I'm assuming it's probably the AFC North if they play the Browns. I don't know, but
they play us.
Yeah, so either way, it's all about relevant wins. So if you're losing to teams like that other teams in your division are beating, not a good look. Like that Browns game is one of them. Now, if the NFC North does play the NFC East like you said they do, and they end up, beating the Cowboys, and this can come back to haunt them. Which, I think that shit, the entire NFC North can beat the fucking Cowboys. I mean, they're not a good team. They're not. I'm not saying that to be funny. They're not a good team. They're 1-2-1. Okay,
and that one win is the Giants.
Yeah, they're not. Yes, they're not good, and they barely beat the Giants.
The Russell Wilson Giants, not Jackson Dart. The Russell Wilson Giants.
Dallas, they might get it together later on. We'll see when CD comes back. But for right now, let's treat them like what they are. They're bottom of the barrel, which is very fun to say. Honestly, they're ass, and I think that the NFC North, like I said, if they can, whoever they play, which is all of them, if they get a win on them, that could come back again to haunt Green Bay. So, fuck Dallas. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way now. This is going to be a fuck Dallas rant. I hate how these fans are feeling so fucking good about this stupid ass tie and that stupid ass win against the Giants. It's your team is just as much 0-4 as you are 1-2-1. Like, just call it what it is. And they won't, and they can't. They can't. And it's just damn, like fuck. It's the same old Dallas Cowboys, man. That's why I, as an Eagles fan, I can't let off the gas pedal when it comes to heckling them. I cannot do it until they admit it. I want them just to admit it. I'm tired of hearing about Dak Prescott. Tired of hearing about shit. This coach and when Zeke was there and and Trevon. You guys stink, man. You suck. And it's okay. We've had years where we sucked. We've had years where we sucked really bad. Just admit it. But notice they won't admit it. They'll just be quiet. They're literally like motherfucking Red Off for Friday. Or a Smoke Y'all Friday. Like when he be here, you guys shut the fuck up. And then when he leave, or when he's here, I'll be quiet. When he leaves, I'll be talking again. That's the Cowboys. Like you don't want to be that. Don't be that. That's bitch made. Stand 10 toes down for your team. If you suck, you suck. If you're good, you're good. And if you're good temporarily, admit it. Hey, I'm just happy to be here and we're playing some good football. Instead, that ain't how they talk. So, no, the Cowboys deserve to be drugged. We should all continue, not even as Eagles fans, the entire league, drag them. Drag them. Okay? Remember all the years of all that talking they do every season. Drag them until they stop. Until it's done. Sorry, I had to get that out.
Hey, power to the people. Fuck Cowboys. Dak his ass. I'm with all that. So, let's get to the next game, guys. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Buccaneers 31-25, and I'll start this off. I get it. People want to say Jalen Hurts doesn't do this, Jalen Hurts doesn't do that, but let's make sure that you mention that Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over. There were 3 other undefeated teams going into this weekend. The Colts, the Niners, Chargers. Justin Herbert, 2 picks. Brock Purdy, 2 picks. Daniel Jones, 2 picks. Baker Mayfield, 1 pick. What are you understanding that we're not? When you turn the ball over, it puts you at a chance to lose football games. And you can say Jalen Hurts doesn't do this, Jalen Hurts doesn't do that. 241 straight passing attempts without an interception, which is the longest active streak in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is on an amazing list of 3 quarterbacks over the last 30 seasons to win 18 straight games that they started and finished. Tom Brady, he's pretty good. Aaron Rodgers, he's pretty good. Third name, Jalen Hurts. So as much as you want to say Jalen Hurts isn't this, Jalen Hurts isn't that, he isn't a guy that turns the ball over, and he isn't a guy that loses football games. Jalen Hurts is a pivotal part of this offense. And like I said, you can say whatever you want about the passing yards, the rushing yards, but make sure you always bring up those no interceptions, because we talked about it in the Ravens game. Lamar Jackson turnovers, Chargers turnovers, Colts turnovers. Losses come when you turn the ball over. If you keep the ball safe, you keep the ball out of your other team's hands, and it gives you the best chance to win. But Jalen Hurts, yes, he's not throwing for 300 yards a game. But there's a lot of people in my mention saying, well, Dak Prescott's leading the league in passing. The only team he beat is the Giants. So would you rather have leading the league in passing and 1 win or being 4-0? Yes, I get it. Stats also play a huge part in everything. I get it. We do these debates. I'm on a podcast. Stats over politics. So, yeah, it just goes to show how much we value statistics. But wins count too. And that's all I'm going to say about Jalen Hurts. I am going to come on here and say we have an all-pro corner, Cass. Maybe not 1. We might have 2. Quinyon Mitchell, 9 targets, 2 catches allowed, 6 yards, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pass breakups, 0 touchdowns. Pat Surtain, the reigning defensive player of the year, went on a podcast and said he is a top 5 corner. You have to give credit where credit is due. We even saw Cooper DeJean out there in our base formation playing cornerback too. And I can't come on here, Kaz, because week after week after week, my wife and I have said, Adoree Jackson, you suck. We hate you. Keely Ringo, 3 targets, 1 reception allowed, 1 pass breakup, 8 yards allowed. This defense is the best in the league, without a doubt. We've given up 3 second-half touchdowns. 3. And, Kaz, you want to know what all 3 of those have in common? They're all 60-plus yard touchdowns. So what does that mean? Broken coverages. If we don't give up the bomb to Bucky and the bomb to Egbuka, do they score again besides the field goals? When the going got tough, all I kept hearing was, Kevin, every game Bucks have won, Baker has led a fourth-quarter comeback. What'd Jahad Campbell say about that? Pack your bags and head on home, Baker. But I just want to come out here and say it, and there's a reason why I didn't say anything about A.J. Brown, because I think Cass deliberately did an amazing job on his video. So if you do not follow just casually, follow him, because he's a realistic Eagles fan. There's a lot of people that will come on here and put their Eagles bias on, and that's all they see. We're 4-0, we're this, we're that. Forget AJ, forget this, forget that. It's not how the world works. When you're a top-tier athlete and you're playing at the top of your tier, you want to be effective in the game. We see Puka Nacua again plays drawn up for him. We see Emeka Egbuka again plays drawn up for him. So we're seeing a lot of these other wide receivers getting the same kind of love. Kevin Patullo, I know there's probably not a chance in hell you see this, but if you do, my brother, please, please, please fix this. We have to fix this. We had a prediction of 56 points in the comments. We ain't going to do that with fucking curl routes and slants. It's all on you, Kaz. Eagles beat the Buccaneers 31-25.
Yeah, I'll be kind of brief on this one because I feel like you kind of hit the nail on the head with everything when it comes to the actual game. I just pretty much told people at the bar when I was watching, I was like, are you nervous? Are you nervous? I'm like, no. I go, this is going to be a good game. I go, I'm in a group chat with a bunch of Eagles fans that I've met from going to games or whatever, and they were in there freaking out, blah, blah, blah. And I said in there, I go, guys, this is in Tampa against Baker Mayfield, who is a proven good quarterback. Okay. I know they don't have Mike Evans. Todd Bowles has Jalen Hurts' number. Okay. If you think that we're going to come in here and this game's just going to be a blowout, you are heavily mistaken. I don't care how good we look right now. They're going to score some touchdowns. Baker is going to find the end zone. How he does it, I don't know. But what I'm saying is I know that he's going to find the end zone. Looking at it from just a betting perspective, which I know is kind of ridiculous because, like, well, that's just betting. But, like, odds are odds. Like, he was projected to have, like, 220 yards that game. That was it was like 220 or 220 or 229 or something like that was his line. It was something like, and, like, he hit that, obviously. And then I think he was due for, like, at least two passing touchdowns. So I'm like, at some point, we still have that. Yeah, he's going to score. And then, and maybe Bucky scores, maybe the running backs get it going. But I'm like, he's going to score. That's okay. It's not a big deal. We're going to make a mistake. Nobody plays 4 quarters of phenomenal football. Even the Broncos last night playing against the Bengals, they had times where they had hiccups, and they beat the shit out of them. It's football. It happens. But what I'll say is, first off, thank God for getting over that hump and finally beating the Buccaneers. We needed that. God damn, we needed that. But yeah, just the whole AJ Brown situation. Like you said, I made a video on it, and I felt like this is something I've been saying for a long time as a former athlete, as someone who still trains to this day in a very competitive way. I don't think people really understand, and this is no jab, kind of a jab, but no jab at people who are not athletic and no jab at people who have never played a game at a high level. But if you think that these athletes do all this work to be as great as they are to not be utilized, and they're just supposed to be happy to be there and get wins, you're fucking crazy. That's insane. Like, I'm not saying I would sacrifice AJ Brown, and I think it's where Eagles fans get it confused. I'm not saying I would sacrifice wins for AJ Brown to have 9 catches for 140 yards. No, I'm not saying that. We're literally not using him. Like, we paid him $100 million and some change. And if we use him, more often than not, we're going to win games much more comfortably than what we have been. There's no way that a fan can look at AJ Brown and the Eagles and go, not using him is why we're winning. No. We're winning because we have a good roster and we have other players that can get the job done. That's why we're winning. I don't want to win that way. Some fans are happy to win that way. We have to start acting like the team that we are. We are defending Super Bowl champions. Or like Lane Johnson said or whatever, he's like, we're not defending champions. That was last year. This is new season, which I like. I like that perspective. But either way, we are the last team to win a championship. We've been to 3 Super Bowls in 8 years. We've won 2 of them. We've been to 2 in the last 3 years. We have to start acting like a team that can beat the shit out of bad teams. Are the Buccaneers a bad team? No. But did we take advantage of them early? Absolutely. If that was Detroit, I guarantee Detroit closed that game with 56 points. If Detroit goes out there and they go up 20 points immediately or whatever it was, 17 points off the rip, that game ain't ended the way that our game ended. It ain't. And even if Baker and them score, 3 or 4 touchdowns, we're going to match that every other series. So, like, at some point, we have to look at the issue. And the issue is, yes, it's true. We're not getting our superstars the ball. People can blame Jalen Hurts all day. They critique him. They overanalyze him. That's fine. I'm not here to argue how good I think Jalen Hurts is. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't think that Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFL. I think he's very, very good at what he does, and that is, like you said, protecting the ball and making the right decisions. And I actually tweeted, and apparently I must have either had a typo or something, but I tried to find it, and I deleted it apparently, because usually when I have a typo, I'll delete a tweet. But I said, low-key, Jalen Hurts is playing at a premier level. I remember tweeting that. And what I meant was, when I'm watching the game, and I'm not a stat guy. I am a stat guy to an extent because you have to be, but I'm an eye test guy. I'm like, I have been out there and played football. Have I played at the level of these guys? Fuck no, but I understand what it's like to have a helmet on and strapped up and to run through a play, right? And I'm watching Jalen Hurts play, and I'm like, he just tends to make the correct decision every time. Do you know how fucking rare that is? That's not something that should be taken lightly. It's not like he's just throwing away, punt, throwing away, punt. It's like, nope. Nothing's there, going through his reads. He gets you 3 or 4 yards on his feet, or he'll check it down. And then he gets 3 or 4 yards on his feet. Then he'll check it down, or he'll hit somebody over the middle, or he'll hit a tight end, or, whatever it may be. But he's working with breadcrumbs here because the play calling is that bad. It's already been debunked. People all over the fucking internet has been on Next Gen Stats showing, the route tree that our receivers are running. Like, it is 85% the play calling that's the issue with that offense. Okay? The other 15%, it's honestly, I think defenses are playing us really well. They're stacking the box. They're not giving fucking Saquon anything. But at the same time, the way that we run the offense is run heavy first. So if they're stacking the box, not giving Saquon anything, Jalen Hurts isn't Lamar Jackson. He's not. He doesn't have that speed where it's like he can scramble and reverse and dodge, duck, dip, dive, whatever the hell it is from the Dodgeball movie. No, I love Hurts, but he's not that kind of guy. He's a guy that if he has a lane, he's gonna take that bitch, and if you tackle him, he's a harder guy to bring down. Okay, and then if you get him open field, he does what he does in the open field. So if they're stacking the box or they're sending the rush, and they're also shading the AJ Brown side, and the play calling is mediocre, it's like, what the fuck do you expect them to do? What do you expect them to do? And this is me not trying to defend. I'm trying my best to not defend Jalen Hurts because I get how it looks from people who are not Eagles fans. It looks like every time that there's a mistake, we try to make it look like Jalen Hurts is an issue. No, he's not perfect. He's made mistakes, and he's going to continue to make mistakes. But I'll be damned if I sit here and say that more often than not, that dude's decision-making is probably the best in the league. His decision with the ball in his hand is more often than not the correct decision. You don't believe me? Go watch more Eagles football. And you want to tell me that what he does is not the correct move, given with what he has, given his physical attributes, given whether he has getting pressure, and given the routes that the receivers are running. Now, if Jalen Hurts goes on this tirade where he throws 5 picks in the next 6 weeks, okay, we can come back to this conversation and talk about it. But for right now, like you said, the dude he doesn't turn the ball over. He hasn't for a long time. If you think of Jalen Hurts, you think of that ball being protected. That's it. That is a very relevant stat that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about because idiots think that a good quarterback is someone who puts up a bunch of fucking yards and loses fucking games. You understand that if you're used to playing from behind, that you're going to throw the ball a lot. You understand that if the Eagles go down by 14 in the game, okay, you know what's going to happen? It happened in the Rams game. What happened? We were getting in what? Just like that immediately. Okay, fuck it. Start airing that bitch out immediately. Dude had like 30 yards in the first half. Or something like that, 18 yards or some shit. I can't remember. It wasn't shit. Turned out he outplayed Stafford in all assets.
He's been the better quarterback QBR every game.
I don't understand since the history of the league, since the Super Bowl era, since all the Super Bowls since I've been a child. One of the most common things that make a team great is their ability to run the ball. So now that we do it, it's a fucking problem. But when Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and all those guys are doing it, it wasn't a problem. Now, wait, hold on. But they're putting up 4,000-yard season, this and that. I've already got the statistics right here, and I'm not going to go over it because it's a lot. I have Tom Brady. I have Peyton Manning. I have Patrick Mahomes. I have Jalen Hurts. Okay? I have their stats. You know the seasons that these guys are winning Super Bowls are not nowhere near close to their best seasons statistically. So why can't idiots fathom? Sorry, I didn't say it the right way. Idiots. Why can't they fathom that maybe passing the ball a lot is not actually a good thing? It comes to show how bad your team is. But stats, but passing yards, but passing touchdowns, but losses. What? I swear to God, bro. If Jalen Hurts starts passing his ball a lot, he goes off for 4,500. He won't, about 4,500 yards, and it leads to us having a fucking meltdown in the playoffs or something like that. I'm gonna be fucking heated because now we're doing what other teams do that lose, but we can go, well, look at our quarterback though. That's called being a polished turd of an organization. Great teams have a dominant run game or a competent run game, and they know when and not to pass the ball. The sooner you idiots, my bad, I did it wrong again, Idiots. Get it through your head that that's how you win football games, because the best of the best of the best, sir, have been doing that every Super Bowl. You guys will probably start to fucking win. And yes, I can speak like this because in recent years, my team has been that dominant. We have been to 3 Super Bowls in less than a decade. Looking to go to another one here soon, possibly. We've had guys who have been MVP front runners. It's just that simple. And you may not like it. Sit back, relax, watch your quarterback put up 4,200 yards, 4,500 yards this season, throw for 30 touchdowns or whatever it is, and lose. And you'll continue to do so and continue to do so. So I'm sorry for that rant there for a second.
But I love it.
But goddamn, bro, you guys are acting like Jalen Hurts is out here and he cannot throw. He's proved. How many more years you want to prove it? What's it going to take? Well, I need him to have at least 4,000 yards. And you understand that when he runs the ball, that takes away from his effectiveness, his ability to pass the ball because he's good at fucking running the ball. Lamar Jackson, and he's losing. No, shout out to Lamar Jackson for winning 2 MVPs. That's awesome. It's amazing. Shout out to Lamar Jackson last year for running for fucking 1 million yards and also throwing for 4. I think he had his best passing performance of his career last year. You know, and again, I think he should have won the MVP over Josh Allen, but that's neither here nor there. It's like, that's cool, man. But at the end of the day, it's like, is it even necessary? People are putting too much of a fucking focus on passing yards. You're doing all this. Are you beating teams 45-0 every week in those passing yards? Or is it close games? Let's talk about that. You're not putting away games. And you're winning games against bad teams, and you guys are forgetting that doesn't do shit or doesn't matter when it comes to the playoffs. So, yes, I'm sorry. That needed to be said. Jalen Hurts may not be the best quarterback in NFL. He may not be the most accurate, even though he is very fucking accurate. Stats show that. He's extremely accurate, especially when it comes to throwing the deep ball. So he's already debunked all that shit. But he's not throwing enough for you guys. So if he throws 35, 40 times a game like your fucking bitch-ass quarterbacks do, you don't think his fucking passing yards is going to be 250, 300 yards in a game? If you don't think so, you're fucking high. And you're just simply ignoring the fact that, yes, being a good team is finding a system that works. And if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. Your guys' teams have not found a system that works, which is why you lose. That is just a fact.
And while
so keep passing the ball. Keep passing the ball.
And while we're talking about systems, I mentioned that stat of him being over 3 quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, to win 18 games in a row, 45 touchdowns cast to 5 turnovers. The Eagles, in their 20 of their 21 last games, 42 takeaways, 9 giveaways. You got to take care of the ball. Everyone wants to mention our 2 other guys on this podcast. Well, Brock Purdy was top 10 in passing yards. Brock Purdy has 16 interceptions in his last 17 games. Cass said it. If you're going to throw the ball, you're going to throw a lot of picks. And another interesting, one more thing before we get off all this Eagles topic. Cass, I just want you to take a wild guess. 32 quarterbacks. There's only one quarterback this season with 5 touchdowns without throwing an interception. You think you know who that guy is?
Probably Jalen
Hurts. Only 32 jobs, ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of them are throwing the ball away. There's one quarterback to have 5 touchdowns and no picks. He's a Philadelphia Eagle. Kaz, I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm going to go on a tangent real quick. Keep It Real is commenting for us. What do you guys feel about the tush push? Everybody does a tush push. It comes down to talent and skill. Just because you have 11 guys and a quarterback, just because you have 11 guys does not mean you can push that guy over the line to make it work. It takes skill. It is a skill position. That's why they didn't vote to take it away, because everybody can do it. We see the Packers do it. We see the Bills do it. We see teams do it all over the place. But because they don't have a quarterback that squats 600 pounds and the best offensive line in football, it doesn't work. It is a skill thing. That's like saying, let's take away the 3-pointer because Steph Curry just keeps hitting on his goddamn threes.
That's a great way to put it.
Everyone can do it. Just because you're not good at it doesn't mean a team should be penalized for it. So that's how I feel about the tush push, Cass. How do you feel about the tush push?
And you hit the nail on the head, brother. Here's the thing. It's like you're banning it for what? Like what is being done that's illegal? Well, they're lining up offsides. Okay, well then fuck shit. Ref, start throwing a flag. Who gives a shit? We're gonna still do it. Like it does. We're going to do it. Whether we're offsides, whether you're offside. First off, half the time during the tush push, the defense is offsides.
Oh my gosh.
There's plenty of videos out there
that
showing.
Same Chiefs picture. I'm like, bro, with no one else seeing the whole Chiefs line over the top. So if there's a flag on both sides.
Yeah. I mean, it comes like I said, like you said, it comes down to it. You got 11 guys, do it. You're mad at us for being bigger and stronger. Talk to your fucking GM.
Talk to your coach. Do something.
Go. You know what? Go recruit a quarterback, like you said, that's strong as a fucking ox. Go. You can do that. Those guys are in college. They might play for a goddamn JUCO, but they're out there. There's some quarterbacks out there that's strong as hell.
We saw with the Steelers. I don't know if he woke up that early, but when the Steelers did it, the tight end came in motion and got under center, and Aaron Rodgers sitting back there like this.
Yeah. And look, what did he do? I watched that game. I was up for that. Yeah, man. Like, do it. You're in your own way. You know what I mean? Like, you're complaining because we're good at it. That's pitiful. That's pitiful. That'd be like me having I don't know. I'm out at the club, you know what I'm saying, trying to get on a little fine shit, right? And you know, I'm mad because dude over at the bar look better than me, dress better than me, smell better than me. Oh, what am I mad for? I didn't take my ass home, shower, and get up in the gym and get my shit right. I'm mad because I can't be that. The hell? That's some haters. That's some sucker shit, bro. People that bitch about the tush push, bro, they got some problems, dog. They got problems, man. I said it in a previous podcast with you guys. I'm gonna say it again. So this is what it feels like to be the Patriots of all them years. I used to hate the Patriots. I have respect for Tom Brady now. I have respect for the Patriots organization. What they did is amazing, you know, and it is what it is. We watched them dominate our whole lives, right? But I remember I used to hate them. But then guess what? Guess what I did? I became a man and I grew up. And I stopped hating. Why? Because just because I can't do that doesn't mean that I'm not that I have the right to try to discredit someone else for being better than me at something. That's the problem with you children, man. You guys are kids. You're children. They're tush push. Do it. They're not saying that only the Eagles can do it. You guys can do it too. Teams have tried it. They failed.
And the teams that voted for it are the teams that do it.
Yeah. And then you know what's funny is I'm going to say the same thing I say to my kids that I train in real life. Because for those of you guys who are listening in and don't know, I'm a personal trainer for a living. A 45-pound plate at the shittiest gym in the world is the same weight as a 45-pound plate at the best gym in the world. What you do with that plate, that's up to you. Get your ass in the weight room and get right. Get in the fucking weight room. I mean, to me, it's simple. Or how about this? Just be better at football and you don't have to be in a position to do the tush push. There you go. Just go score the ball. So we do the tush push to score. You guys, I don't know.
Pass the ball.
Pass the ball. You guys talk about pass all the time. Go pass the ball and score. Crying about dumb shit, man. Again, this is what it was like all the years to be Patriots fans. To be a Patriots fan. Now I feel it. I'm like, damn, they really finding any which way to hate on us. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing that we can do that can make these people happy and respect us. There's nothing. Our ring. You know what's funny? We beat the shit out of the Chiefs. Do you know how many people I've talked to that's given the Eagles credit? Zero. No credit. Just excuses. Oh, well, they didn't have. Yeah, they were hurt. I'm like, so we just couldn't go in there and just smack the fuck out of them on some revenge shit. No credit at all.
PI.
There's always something.
They told us stop crying.
There's always something. Izzy says, Cap, I told you when they won, y'all beat their ass. But you might have said that, but there might have been a but afterwards.
A little bit of hatred in your heart.
Yeah, a little bit of hatred, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of hatred in your heart. But you know what I mean? Like, bro, it's a good feeling, man. It's a good problem to have. It's like, yep, everybody keep talking about the Eagles. We're cheating. We're this. Hurts is that. You know, because we got Saquon, AJ Brown. Well, first off, let's just talk about this before we move on real quick. So we got this super team, right? We're like last in everything when it comes to offense right now, besides winning. That's we're first place. Yes, we have one of the worst offenses right now. Okay. Our run game is not that great right now. Saquon Barkley is playing like a top 20 running back in the league right now. Like, now we know what's going to happen. We know that's not telling all truths. But it's like, what y'all mad about then? Well, your defense. Hey, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. You got a quarterback that can throw for 4,500 in the season. Just come up in there and put it to us, dog. Put it to us. We lost half our defense. We lost Slay. We got a Dory Jackson get cooked 3 weeks straight. Absolutely cooked. Destroyed. We got Reed Blankenship. We got two white DBs. What's the excuse? I mean, Jordan Davis. Remember, Jordan Davis was just a guy. He was a bust. We got Jalen Carter. He's a piece of shit. We got rid of Josh Sweat. Brandon Graham retired. Jacoby Dean is out. What y'all want, man? Damn, what do y'all want from us? What do y'all want? Just tell it. I want to know. What do y'all want from us, man? I'm utterly confused. What do y'all want? Our quarterback's shitty. He can't throw the ball. That's what I was told. He's terrible. One of the worst. He's a running back. So we have a running back playing quarterback. Lane Johnson's got a fucking stinger in his neck. He ain't even playing these games. What do y'all want, man?
Tyler Steen went out. We have two right side of the ball.
What do y'all want, man? God, when somebody can tell me what they want for real, I'll accept it. But I don't know what y'all want, man. I think y'all just want us to lose. And if y'all that ain't gonna happen. That's what y'all want is to lose. It says y'all defense and special teams has been on point so far. Hell yeah. Just like other teams' defense has been great. Special teams has been great.
Everyone else is blocking keeper when the Eagles do it. It's offside.
But go ahead, brother. Move on.
All right, so we're going to move on to our quickly Week 4 NFL recap. So, Kaz, I'm going to throw it to you first. The Seattle Seahawks go to Arizona and win 23-20.
You know what, Arizona? Damn. I really wanted them. I almost picked them to win that game just because I wanted to pick an upset. I was like, nah, Seattle's got it. They're the best team in the NFC West probably right now. Maybe behind the Rams, but we'll see when that time comes. But yeah, I guess Arizona they need to make some changes at quarterback, bro. Kyler's not it, and he had a good finish to that game, but that's not enough. That's not. They've had opportunities. The offensive line sucks. Their play calling is absolutely trash. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a good wide receiver. I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to stand by that. He's a good wide receiver. He may not be top 10, but he's definitely a top 15, top 20 wide receiver. Find ways to get that
ball on trees either.
Yeah, and find a way to get that man the ball, and that might mean by getting rid of Kyler, moving on from Kyler. It's just, but maybe build the line. I think move on from Kyler. I don't think that him and Kyler have a good relationship personally. So, yeah. So they fall to Seattle in a hard-fought game. The right team won. That's all that matters. The right team won. So shout out to Arizona for fighting, I guess, but it shouldn't even been that close.
So the early morning game, 6:30 in the morning our time, the Steelers beat the Vikings 24-21. This game was a game where I thought Carson Wentz was going to be able to keep it going. You beat the Bengals. The defense plays phenomenal. Isaiah Rodgers, it broke my heart, man. 2 pick sixes, blocking punts, blocking kicks. Isaiah Rodgers is all over the place. He went from not playing for us to being on DPOYs, to having odds to win DPOY. Is Aaron Rodgers back? I mean, DK Metcalf looked good. Kenneth Gainwell. Oh, my brother. It hurt. It hurted. I don't care when DeAndre Swift does something, but Kenneth Gainwell has been there his whole career, and he just went over the bridge. So to see him playing that way, Jalen Ramsey has completely turned around his career. He went to Miami. They thought he fell off, but now he's back, and he's making plays. He's faking a hammy injury. Then he actually hurt his hammy. So they got a lot going on in Pittsburgh, but Mike Tomlin is Aaron Rodgers was what Mike Tomlin needed. They needed a quarterback. They lost the game earlier in the year, just messing up little things right there, here and there. But this is the time for the Steelers to really put a grip on this division. The Bengals suck. The Browns stink. The Ravens stink. Is it time for the Steelers to not go 8-9, 9-8? Are we going to see an 11-12 win season? Are we going to see a playoff win for the first time in over a decade? The Steelers are serious, and it's time for us to be put on notice. Cass, I told you I was going to show you love. The one person out of 4 to choose the Jacksonville Jaguars to go on the road and beat the San Francisco 49ers, I'm talking to him, and his name is Cass Johnson. What made you feel so confident to choose the Jags?
So first off, I'll just say this was 100% just a gamble. Okay, there was no confidence.
I love the honesty. I would have came out and said, I knew it.
It was a gamble. But looking at the weekly slate for the games, I was like, okay. What I do when I do my predictions is I look at the slate. I go, let's start off. Where is there a potential upset? And that was one of the ones where it was a potential upset. I'm like, there's a good chance for the Jags to go in there while the Texans are weak. While Indianapolis, who is looking good right now, but I think that we all know Indianapolis is not going to finish the season as strong as they start. We'll see. They look damn good. Almost for 4-0. But I was like, they have a squad. Etienne somehow, some way revitalized his career. Trevor's Trevor. It is what it is. But Travis Hunter every week, he's showing signs. We're like, okay, hold up, brother. It's there.
Colorado Travis is in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm like, hold up. You kind of a spaz out there, dog. When he be making plays, it's like, oh yeah, you are aggressive. I bet he was a badass kid. He got a lot of whoopings when he was a kid, bro, because that boy's aggressive. Obviously you got Brian Thomas Jr. over there. And just the Niners are a beatable team right now. They're injured. You got Ricky Pearsall over there. Okay. You got what's his name? Jawan Jennings, he's a little banged up. Pretty much all you got to do is contain CMC, and I don't think that the Niners are going to be good. I think the Niners are only as good as free as CMC gets. So I was like, I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is just one of those games where they're going to go out there and put themselves in a really good position in their division to win. And I just felt like the Niners were vulnerable, and so I picked the Jags. So there was no – like I said, it was a gamble. I didn't think that the Jags were just like better and they were going to go in there and handle business. No, but I was like, the Jags can win this game. I think the Jags will win this game. That's it.
The Giants beat the Chargers, 3-0 Chargers, 18-21, 21-18. We talked about it. Turnovers make games, and Justin Herbert had two bad ones. Jackson Dart revamped this offense. You're seeing quarterback draws, which you couldn't do that with Russell Wilson. So he's added things to this offense. Cam Scatterby was playing great. He's a bell cow back. When I mean bell cow, I mean he's running the ball 25-plus times a night. That's CMC type volume. RIP to yet another Achilles and ACL at MetLife Stadium. Since 2020, Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, Jabril Peppers, Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, Kyle Fuller, Aaron Rodgers, and now Malik Neighbors. We already expected them to not win a lot of games, but with this now, I think Malik Neighbors going down in a game where they won possibly saved Brian Daboll's career, his job. Because, look, man, I got Darius Slayton, I got Wan'Dale Robinson, I got a bunch of young guys out here, and I got a rookie quarterback. We're going to go out here, we're going to be competitive, and sell tickets. Jackson Dart gives hope. That's what rookie quarterbacks do. They bring hope to the organization because they were bad for so long. You get a high pick like this. You think about the Eli Mannings of the world that they've had come in there and be successful. Now you get to pre Jackson Dart in there. As an Eagles fan, I'm excited to see what Jackson Dart's going to do. Unfortunately, his next few games are hard. I don't know who they play next, but then they play the Eagles, somebody else in the Eagles again. So for the next 4 or 5 weeks, we're really going to see what Jackson Dart is about. But Chargers, are they pretenders? Joe Alt goes down, so they're kind of crumbling. They've had Rashawn Slater go down and now Joe Alt. The Quentin Johnson revival, I thought it was a fluke. I remember him dropping touchdowns and screaming at himself on the sideline, but now he's showing that he was a top first-round pick for a reason. So, Cass, we talked about the horrible AFC South, so I'm going to give you this quick game, I believe. The Texans beat the Titans 26-0.
Titans stink. that's
it.
I'm surprised that it was that big of a beatdown, but that was a game where I'm like, come on, Houston, you can't lose this one, brother. Yeah, you guys suck too, but you guys, you got the better coach. You got guys on defense that can rattle. What's his name? Cam Ward. Take care of the ball. Play just competent football. on offense, and your defense is gonna do the rest, and that's exactly what they did. It didn't take much to win that game, and Tennessee had no answer. So it's just one of those cases where you got a game that a bad team kind of puts it to a really shitty team, and that end result was, like I said, a little bit more than what I thought it'd be. But I mean, I would have probably picked Houston to win by at least 10.
Easy.
So, yeah.
Next game, the Atlanta Falcons beat the Commanders 34-27. The Commanders have not looked like the team that went to the NFC Championship. Jaden Daniels is out. The guy you just paid, Terry McLaurin, is out. So it's the Marcus Mariota show. I'm going to sit here and talk about the Falcons because week 1, they looked really good against the Buccaneers. And we hold the Bucs to a high standard. But then you play the Panthers and you don't score a single point and you look like shit. So to come back after a performance like that and beat a Commanders team that, yes, went to the NFC Championship, their guys might be down, but they are still a team that wins the NFC Championship. They still are building a winning culture. Michael Penix, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Bijan Robinson, 17 carries for 75 yards, on top of catching 4 passes for 106 yards. Drake London, 8 catches for 110 yards. And then Kyle Pitts Sr., I've been telling y'all since he added the senior, whatever he did in the past don't matter. This is a new man. This is Kyle Pitts Sr., goddammit. He's good. Kyle Pitts stinks. Kyle Pitts Sr. is good. 5 catches, 170 yards, 70 yards, and a touchdown. This is what we expected with this offense. You spent these 4 years being bad to get guys like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. We thought Kirk Cousins was going to be that quarterback to bring it out of them, but it's Michael Penix. And the Commanders, I've been hearing people in my DM saying, Debo's back. You said he was fat. You're 2-2. Terry McLaurin's not there. The moment Terry McLaurin comes there, he's going to go back to being a wide receiver too. So Debo puts no fear in my heart as an Eagles fan. Kaz, the Buffalo Bills survive a scare and beat the Saints 31-19.
And just like the last game I talked about, where I kind of get, well, not the last game, but the Jacksonville Jaguars game, where I'm like, I just feel like the Jags can beat, the Niners. I didn't think the Saints could beat the Bills, but I'm like, that spread was like 14.5 points. I'm like, yep, that's one of them ones. I go, this is gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a close game. Yeah, just another game where it's like, what do you want to say about it? Really, like, this is the NFL. This is going to happen every week to one team. There will be a team that has no business either beating or keeping it close against an opponent that is probably a Super Bowl contender. And I actually was watching this game at the bar, and there was a Saints fan there, and this dude was on the edge of his seat, like rubbing his hands together, like, we're gonna win this game. This is the one. And I'm just like, dog, act like you know the NFL. Okay. Act like you know what goes on in the NFL. You think that they're gonna have Josh Allen lose against the Saints, the poster boy for the NFL right now, the guy that everybody loves, the quote unquote the MVP, best quarterback in the league, right? No, that's not what's gonna happen. Okay. Now, I give them some credit, man. Like, Rattler was fighting. He was fighting. But yeah, that game, they were never gonna win that game. Kudos for keeping it close, but they were never gonna win that game.
So moving on to the next game, the Rams beat the Colts 27-20. To all my Colts fans out there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you guys have YNs on your team that drop the ball before they go into the end zone. I'm sorry that same YN on a touchdown got a holding penalty and brought it back. That's 2 points. That's 2 touchdowns on the board. And the AFC South, where it's you guys and nobody, to lose like that, I'd cry. I'd cry myself to sleep. You had the Rams down, and you're dropping the ball, and then he's diving for the ball, trying to get it back. And it's just like, brother, Adonai Mitchell, this is on you. Yes, Daniel Jones threw 2 picks. This game was won. They score that touchdown. They get that second touchdown. They're up 14 points. It's the Jonathan Taylor show. But God damn it, Puka Nacua, he's on one. Next year when we do our top 10 receivers, he might be 5 for 4. He's making a debate. He is coming out here and killing it. Devontae Adams is showing that he still has pep in his step. We thought this is what we were going to see with Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams last year, but it just goes to show how good Puka Nacua is. Matthew Stafford still got it. Once Kyron Williams figures out how to hold on to the football, the Rams will be very good. Bouncing back after that Philadelphia loss just goes to show how good this team really is. And Cass, the Raiders, Ashton Jeanty finally shows up. What were your thoughts on Ashton Jeanty's breakout performance and the Raiders losing to the Bears 25-24 on yet another blocked kick?
I picked the Bears to win. I had to, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's just one man show, bro. It was cool to watch. I'm glad that he had that performance. He's on my fantasy team.
Same. I loved it. I was there. I watched every snap.
Yeah. So
the ball away, I said perfect. You just keep giving Jeanty the ball.
Yeah, it was. I think as an NFL fan, that was good to see. You got a guy that we all, let's be honest, we're all kind of rooting for. He was fun to watch in college at Boise State, and he goes to Las Vegas, and mind you, I forgot about this. Very important. Local kid got some tick after the Raiders cornerback went down. Darian Porter got out there and got some time. He went to Iowa State. Obviously, I live here in Iowa, but he went to high school at Bettendorf, which is rival school with at the school that I coach at. But I met the kid, very, very nice kid. I can only say great things about him. I haven't talked to him for years since he went off to college, but yeah, he got out there, and I'm like, and they mentioned him on the TV. I'm like, yes. They go, this is the time where you can take advantage of the young corner here, Darian Porter or something like that. I'm like, you know what I said? I stood up. I'm like,
let's go.
Throw it to my guy, bro. Throw it his way. See what he does. That man runs a 46.99 400-meter dash. If you don't know shit about track and field, let me tell you something. You want a 46? You want a 46? That ain't football speed. That's fast. Okay, that's fast. So I'm like, yeah, that was cool to see. But the Bears. I don't know, man. That was a pretty fun game to watch. I'll just say that. It was a fun game to watch. I can't really say anything bad about either team. I mean, Caleb didn't look too hot, but that's Caleb, though. He's going to have his games where he's the flashes are there, but more often than not, he's going to do Caleb things. So shout out to Chicago for winning a very winnable game, I guess. I mean, I really want the Raiders to be so good, so bad, because I like a good underdog story. I do. I like. You got Geno Smith there, okay? You got the kid Ashton Jeanty. You got Jacoby Myers, who, he's a good receiver. But it's like, you look at the Raiders from a while back, they were supposed to be good a long time ago. I mean, they had Amari Cooper at one point. They had Devontae Adams. They had Josh Jacobs. They had Henry Ruggs. It's like they had Darren Waller. It's like, bro, like they supposed to be nice. They're supposed to be real nice for a couple years, but they just not Aiden Hutchinson, but Max Crosby. It's like, but they just didn't have the coaching. They've never really had the complete team, but they were supposed to have some pretty solid offenses for a handful of years, and they just never did. So still kind of low-key rooting for the Raiders. My cousin, he's a big Raiders fan, so I kind of just root. I mean, they're in the AFC West. They don't have no affiliation with the Eagles, We see them once every who knows how many years.
We'll see him this year.
Yeah. Well, last time we saw him was when Allegiant Stadium first opened.
And I was there. We got
blasted. Yep. But I like the Raiders, man, and I hope that they kind of figure it out and they ruffle some feathers in that division, which looks like it's going to be pretty competitive with the Chargers making a surge forward. So,
well, that will do it for our Week 4 NFL recap. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in this NFL season, we have a this or that. So, Cass, I was hoping we'd have the foursome here today, but it's just you and I. This or that, Emeka, Egbuka edition. First name up, Cass, Devontae Smith.
Come on, bro. I'm not saying it because you know the fucking answer. Give me the Heisman Trophy winner, bro. What the hell's wrong with you?
This is what I'm saying. You give Smitty number 1 targets, he looks just like Emeka Egbuka.
Bro, you give Smitty, please. Oh my God.
I'm gonna go Smitty.
I'll say, yeah, let Smitty get 6 catches in a game. You know what the numbers gonna look like? He's for sure scoring, okay, and he's going for over 100 off 6. Yes, he's averaging 20 yards a catch, 15, 20 yards a catch off 6.
Next name, Zay Flowers. Give me Egbuka.
I think I got. He's cold, bro. I'm gonna make sure no Ravens fans are in my chat. Okay, because I got a couple here. Yeah, give me Egbuka. Yeah, I'll take Egbuka. Yeah, that boy's nice, bro.
Next name, Lad McConkey. I'm gonna take Emeka Egbuka. What we've seen from Lad this year, it kind of makes you think it was last year a anomaly. They had no Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, Sting. He was the only one to throw the ball to.
I think I'm gonna go with
Egbuka. Is a big fight for targets with Chris Godwin now and Mike Evans.
I think I'm gonna go with Egbuka over McConkey because listen, he was supposed to when Mike Evans went down. Usually these number 2s that come in the league, young guys that are good or whatever. They're usually a product of their environment. So that means that you got Mike Evans on the outside, number 1, then you number 2, right? It takes off. Sometimes it can take off a lot of pressure. Well, he's doing it without Mike Evans, bro. Now, I think it's very close. I think it's very, very close. I could be wrong on it. Lad's probably better, but I think right now, if I had to pick right now, I'll take Egbuka over Lad. Yep.
Next name, Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Jackson Smith. Shit, he's the best receiver in the league right now.
I'm going to go Jackson Smith. You see DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett come out, and he steps in, and like Cass said, he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. So I'm going to go Jackson Smith-Njigba as well. Next
that
name,
boy is going crazy right now.
Garrett Wilson.
I'll take – give me Garrett.
Yeah, I'm going to go Garrett. Emeka's been balling, but Garrett Wilson, no matter who his quarterback is, he'll get it done.
Yeah, Egbuka. We didn't talk about that. Egbuka does got Baker, who's better than any quarterback that Garrett Wilson has. Next
name, Drake London.
Why the fuck did I pick? Give me Egbuka. Yeah, I mean, what? Who is Drake London? He's a name now. But he's got old boy there, and before I don't care who he had, bro. He ain't done shit. What's he done? He had a few good games. He had one good overtime game where he went off. Outside of that, he's been a solid wide receiver 1.
I'm gonna go with Egbuka as well.
Yeah, give me Egbuka.
Next name, Terry McLaurin.
Terry old now, bro. I'll take Egbuka. Terry's old now, bro.
Terry had. We talked about doing it with quarterbacks we don't know. That boy didn't caught pass from Tyler Heineke.
That's fine. I respect that. I think that. I'm talking right now. Prime Terry. I don't think Terry's in his prime anymore. I don't. I really don't. I think that he's on the decline. So I'm going Egbuka, yeah. Prime Terry, hell no. Give me Prime Terry all day, but that's not the case right now.
Last name, I was hoping the Niner fans would be here. I know what you're going to say, and I know what I'm going to say. Ricky Pearsall.
Hell no. Hell no. Not even close.
Egbuka every day and twice on Sunday.
You can compare Ricky Pearsall to maybe Chris Godwin. That's a conversation. Get the hell out of here, bro. That happened to that motherfucker is he got popped and survived.
Yeah. Now he's the white 50 Cent. So that is going to do it for episode 160 of Stats Over Politics. You are joined by Kevin Dent and Cass Johnson. Please continue to follow Stats Over Politics on Instagram, TikTok, X. We are wherever you guys get your content from. And like I said in the beginning of the episode, please follow Just Casually on all the same social media platforms. He puts out great content, you guys. I know he sacrifices to come on our podcast all the time. So please show him major love because he's one of the ones in the game that when we started and I was scrolling through Twitter, I was like, man, this guy got some takes. Slid in his DMs, and 2 years later, we're still going strong. So, Kaz, I want to come on here and give you your flowers, man. We thank you for riding with us and trusting a kid who you had no idea who he was. All you knew was that he was an Eagles fan. He had a podcast. So,
yeah, I appreciate you guys too, man. It's fun, bro. Like I said, if I had, I wish I could just be on the West Coast with you guys. So things could be a lot easier. But 2 years strong now. We're making it work. And at first, for those of you who are listening in, you guys probably didn't know this. I was just a guest. It was just like I was supposed to come on, probably once, or whatever. And that was it. Now it's become a long-term thing where every week I'm here, and anytime they want me to come around, they let me come around. And I like ball, man. Like I may not look it, but your boy's 34 years old, and I've been talking football my entire life since I can remember. And there's not really much things that I enjoy nowadays. I don't really have a lot of things to really enjoy right now outside of football. So this is a major passion of mine, and to be able to do this, whether we have 2 viewers or 1 million viewers, it's fun. It's never a bad time. So again, I appreciate you guys.
Of course, and once he starts watching some NBA, you get Cash Johnson year round.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that's going to happen, man. I don't know.
But that is going to do it for episode 160. That's what pauses. We thank you guys for tuning in. I know this was a Tuesday versus a Monday. The double games. If there's ever probably going to be a double game, it's going to be really hard for us to come on. Like Cass mentioned, he's not in California or Oregon like I am, so he's not on the West Coast. So it's just harder. But like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Stats over politics. Kevin Dent and Kaz Johnson are signing off. You guys have a great rest of the night. And go Birds!
Go Birds, baby, go